Hi everyone, welcome to week 3. So in week 3, we will be discussing the defenses to contractual breaches. Okay, so to recap, in week 1, we discussed all of the elements that are necessary to make a valid contract. And then in week 2, we discussed breach of contract and the remedies that are available to the wronged party. In week 3, we are going to take it a step further and discuss what happens when a person breaches a contract, but they have a valid defense for breaching that contract. So we have some great study materials this week that really describe the defenses, but I wanted to lay out a couple examples for you. The main defense to contractual breach is lack of capacity. That means that one of the parties did not have the capacity to enter into the contract in the first place. So a classic example would be if I contracted with my next door neighbor to mow my lawn every week. And it's a valid contract. We have an offer. Please mow my lawn. Acceptance. He said he would. And consideration is I will pay you $10 a week if you mow my lawn on a weekly basis. And assume all the contract elements are met. A week comes and goes, and my next door neighbor does not mow my lawn. And say I take him to court and I tell the judge that we have a valid contract, why didn't he mow my lawn? And he says, well, I'm only 12 years old. Well, then he has a defense. If you're 12 years old, you are not an adult and you are a minor and you do not have the capacity to enter into a contract. So he would have a defense and he would not have to perform under the contract. So that's a classic example. Another example would be, say, somebody points a gun at me and asks me to enter into a contract. In that moment, well, a gun is pointed at my head. Well, then I am in duress. So anything I say or do in that moment while the gun is pointed at my head would not be considered an enforceable contract because I have the duress defense. Another example would be if a person was intoxicated in some way under the influence of drugs or alcohol. A judge would most likely say that whatever that person did while under the influence would not be an enforceable contract because, again, he didn't have the capacity because he's under the influence. So those are just some examples. Your reading materials are really great this week and explain this in more detail. And if you have any questions about it as you work through it, please let me know. Okay, so for the assignments this week, first I should note we do not have a discussion board this week. So if you have any questions about anything, just reach out to me via email. I usually post several supplemental resources on the discussion board, so I will do that through an announcement this week. Okay, and if you have any questions about them, of course, reach out. And then we do have 2 assignments this week. The first assignment is a hypothetical situation where you will be asked several questions about the hypothetical situation, and of course it relates to capacity and the defense to breaching a contract. And then the second assignment is to create a PowerPoint presentation where you will go through and discuss the available defenses and provide your own example of each. And we ask that you provide your own example and not one that you find. You can look for examples online, but then create your own so that you can really understand the defense and understand, examples of each. So if you have any questions about either of those assignments, please reach out to me. Any questions about the materials or anything in the last 3 weeks about the course, everything builds on each other. So if you have a question that's still lingering from week 1, ask me now because it's going to help you understand the current material, and we build on the concepts every week. Okay, enjoy your week and let me know if there's anything I could do to help you and make this course more enjoyable or easier. Thanks so much.